everyone. This is another meet and greet with one of our 21st speakers of the Mental Health and Motherhood Summit. I am the founder, Chanel Riggle, and today we have Sandra, who will be speaking on escape survival mode, reclaiming your time, energy, and sanity as a busy mom. Thank you so much for joining us, Sandra. I'd love if you could tell us a bit about yourself.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me here to get to know everybody and also to be part of the summit. I am a mom of two little ones. I also have a little fur baby, a little doggy. I'm married and I am a physician, family physician by trade, and also now have been working on my own business, coaching women, especially moms, who are silently struggling with living in survival mode, so that they can take back control of their life, and they can actually be fully present for what truly matters to them. I think for so many women, there's sort of this, misconception that if they're struggling or they're having a hard time, that they're on their own and that everybody else has it all together and everybody else is doing it all. And so one of the things that was really important to me was to kind of break that misconception, especially because in my work as a physician, I would see so many women that would come in with all these symptoms. Their hair's falling, they're not sleeping, they have all this heartburn, whatever it is, right? And a lot of times their workups were completely normal, and I would sit and talk to them, and just listening to what was going on in their life was stressful for me, hearing it, let alone them actually living it day in and day out. And I realized that we need better tools to help people who may not even necessarily be meeting, we talk a lot about mental health. It has to be anxiety or depression, but maybe they're not even meeting that criteria. Maybe they're doing the screenings at their doctor's offices and they walk out being like, oh, everything's normal, right? But they don't feel like everything is normal. And so that's really a lot of, I think a big part of what I'm doing now is to help women realize that no, it's not normal to be chronically stressed all the time. That's not normal. That shouldn't be our normal, and what can we do about it, especially when we sort of live in societies and cultures that don't have great support systems for women and for mothers and parents in particular. What do you do when you don't have that kind of help? Where can you take control? What are the things that you can feel empowered to change? So yeah, that's a lot of what I'm doing and what I'm, really passionate about right now.
That's amazing. I am actually been thinking a lot in the past couple days. I'm going through a bit of a inflammation flare up right now, and something that really weighs on me is just because something is common doesn't mean it's normal. And I can't tell you how many times medically, whether it's physical or mental health, I have reflected upon that. Just because I go into a doctor with pain or severe stress, and they say, oh, that's really common, that still doesn't mean it's normal. And it's one of the reasons that I'm so passionate about bringing mothers like you from all different backgrounds together for the summit, is because I really want moms to feel like they have more tools in their mental health toolbox to access in case they are going to get help and they're kind of getting dismissed, even if it's not really intentional. It happens a lot.
Exactly. And I think it's like you said, it's not necessarily that it's intentional, but it's more of like, hey, I can't continue to necessarily live in this way or at this pace, or I don't want to, sometimes it's just like, I don't want to feel this way all the time. This isn't how I want to be showing up in my day to day. And so what can I do differently about that? And I think that that's a conversation that doesn't happen often enough. We get so much preparation when we become moms about how to take care of a baby. I always think of that book that I think everybody reads, What to Expect When You're Expecting, right? And it's all like, oh, these are the different, stages, and these are all the different things that they have to do, and what to expect when they're this age or that age. And it's like, okay, where's the what to expect when becoming a mother book?
Mhm.
What's the like what's going to happen to us? How are we going to feel differently? How are our coping mechanisms no longer going to like work the same way? How are we going to be overstimulated in a way that we've never been before, and how do we deal with that? And how do we manage our time now that the demands are way beyond anything that we've ever had in terms of time before? So I just think that there is a lot that we can learn together, right, in community about how we can better that experience for ourselves. Because I definitely think being a mom is not just about taking care of kids, but also in sort of the who we are becoming, right?
Yeah, no, I love that. And we gave away a book last year. Um, you were saying there wasn't a book. I think there actually are more books coming out written by mothers who are feeling that way. Like, what do I go through when I become a mother? For me, it was very shocking. There was a lot of grief, and then there was a ton of anger, and I didn't really know that was also grief.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just the confusion. Like, I'm so happy, but I also am just so miserable. It doesn't make sense. Um, I'm really looking forward to. I will link that in here because it was a great book, and it talked about kind of like coming up with a postpartum plan to take care of yourself as well. Sandra, thank you so much for joining me. I really look forward to hearing more at the 2025 Mental Health and Motherhood Summit. This is an online event October 10th and 11th, and we have, like I said, 24 speakers this year, which is twice as many as last year, twice as much support for you to get online. Tickets are on sale for $25, and that includes a week of recordings and some other options for you as well. Thank you so much, Sandra. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.